So like I said, we're going to start looking at chapter 5 and 6 tonight. Let me get to the sharing my screen with you guys. And let's see which one this is. This is lesson 6. I don't want that one yet. I thought I had them both right here. 6, 5. Oh, there. All right. So lesson 5, mathematical functions. Oh, I guess we're still there. Okay, that's all right. Did I not give you those? No, because you had, what was 4 then? Yeah, select. Okay. So we're back off that a little bit here. We are going to do 5 will be the mathematical functions, characters, and strings. So I think what we'll do tonight is this financial application, and it should be in 423. If it isn't, it should be. But I changed it up somewhat, okay? The biggest rule here is that you can only have 2 inputs, okay? We're not going to, on this one, it's before the looping, so we will not have to check all these numbers out. But we'll keep that there. And again, ask questions as we go. Key things up here. On number 2, the city sort, you have to sort it no matter what case it is, it should sort correctly. When I say that, the problem is if you sort in Java, it sorts by ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange, which means that, let me try and explain this. Let's go here. That might be okay. Excel. Just give me a blank one real quick. All right. So again, when they started this stuff, computing that is, they realized right away that the decimal number system doesn't work in reality with it. So they chose to use binary because in reality, what we have is millions of circuits that are either open or closed. That's it. And those are called a bit, okay? And that's short for binary digit. So bit is like short for binary digit. They just cut it down. And the binary digits can only be 0s and 1s. All right. So for the most part, that's how it works. Is the circuit open? Is the circuit closed? But at some point, they needed letters and numbers and things like that. So for example, they have, let's see. So to create a number, a letter, the first letter in the alphabet is 65. So it'd be a 1 there. And then this would be 1s, 2s, 4s, 8s, 16, 32, 64. 0. I think that's right. So these are 1s, 2s, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So I'll type these up here, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. And this works just like the base 10. Okay. I mean, if this was base 10, this would be 10 to the 0 power, 10 to the first power, 10 to the second power, third power, fourth power, sixth power, etc. So this is base 2. Okay. So you can see here, if I take 64 and add 1 to it, it comes up to 65. Okay. And that is a capital letter A. Okay. That means this circuit is on, this circuit off, 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 on. And we get the letter A by doing that. So B would be nothing more than 0, 1, whoops, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, no. See, that would be 1, 0. That'd be 66. And that would be a capital letter B. And then so on. This one would be 0, 1, 0, 0, oops. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Oops, can't have a 2. That'd be that one, and that'd be 67. And that would be uppercase C. And that goes on all the way up to 97. Or actually keeps going. So how many letters are there in the alphabet?
26.
26. So this system keeps going up till 26. So then they said, okay, so we have the uppercase letters here. Now we need the lowercase letters. So if I added 26 onto here, I think I get 93. And they said, no, that's too hard. Let's not do that. Let's do this instead. They said, we'll just have that, and we'll have a 64, and then we'll turn on the 32-bit also. Okay, so then that's 0, that's 0, that's 0, 0, 0. Oh no, that's a 1. And so at 35, at 97 is a small letter A. And so on from there. Okay. So small letter B would be 98, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So when you go to sort, now this is ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. And you go to sort, if you sort by, in other words, if I sort against, how will this sort? What's the list going to look like? Whoop, I goofed this one up. Never mind. Hang on a second. There. What's my list going to look like?
It'd be the bottom one, then the top one, then the middle.
Yep. So this would be first because B is 65. Then the O is less than O and O, small letter case. And then they're the same from there on. Then this one comes before this one because the uppercase is lower than the small b. And so they'd sort in that order. So when I test your programs, I'm going to type something like this in. What is it? What I type in usually? I usually type like BOS, chai, and is that what I type? Something like this. I'm forgetting what it is. Oh, ATL. So you should realize that those will come out as Chicago first, Atlanta second, and Boston third, if I sort those. So my point is when you're doing this program here, this 3-city sort, you need to make sure that you are sorting them regardless of case. Okay, and there is a a function in your book that will help you do that. Okay, when you're doing those, I forget what page it was on. Well, it's in the chapter anyway, string type. I'm just looking here, see if I can quickly. Under your characters and strings in your book, there'll be one that says disregard the case. Don't use case to do the comparison. Another thing you need to remember, I saw somebody used it in one, is that we don't use equal signs when we do compare one string to another string, okay? We actually type out the word dot equals. So you might have name dot equals, and then in the parentheses, Doug, okay? And so if it does, if the name equals Doug, then it's true, and that gets like I said, that formulates out as a true. Where is that page? I'm trying to just find you, give you a little heads up here. Characters from the console, reading strings from the console. Finding a character string in a string. Hexadecimal. Well, it's in there. I can't find it at the moment here.
I think I have an older version of the book, but for me, it's page 130. It's section 4.4.
130. I don't have it on 130.
Yeah, so like I said, it's my numbers might be different, but this section is 4.4. You're looking for
Yeah, it's around there.
two uppercase or two lowercase.
Yes, that's the ones.
Yeah, table 4.7 for anyone looking.
Okay, let me see here.
It's 4.8 on page 135 in the most recent textbook.
Ah, there it is. Compare to ignore case, or equals ignore case is what I would use. Okay, that's the one I would use. It's on page 135 of your text. So that kind of gives that one away. And then the first one is making sure somebody's social security number at least has 3 digits, then a dash, then 2 digits, then a dash, then 4 digits. Okay? And you can't use a loop, those of you who already know how to use loops, because we haven't done that yet. So let's go ahead and write a program. I think we'll do the financial application one. So I'm gonna,
excuse
go
me.
ahead.
In that program, you said only have 2 inputs, which is
That's
the
it.
hours and the pay rate. How are
Yep.
we going to get their name?
Oh, if you want to put their name in, you can. I wasn't putting their name in.
Okay.
Okay. All right, new project. So we're going to say next, and then it's the Acme payroll. Is what I'm going to call mine. There it is. And project Acme payroll system. This is Acme payroll.java. The date today is, oh boy, 9/1/2020. And author is you. And the purpose is a program to calculate the net pay of an employee by inputting the hourly rate and the number of hours worked, deductions for, what did I all have here? Federal tax, state tax, and FICA are deducted. I think that's good enough. Sure, I save here. I'm going to backspace that. Get rid of it. I'm going to clean this up, move this out here. I'm going to take everything in here and tab it into so I have a nice clean line here. Get rid of the Java doc thing here. Do that there. Get that. Something like that. And then, oh, come on. All right. So, things I need right off the bat. Well, I know that I have to get input of an hourly rate and number of hours worked. So I must have to have a scanner. Got that. And then I'll instantiate a scanner down here. So it's a scanner. Oh, what do I want to call it? I'll say con in, for console in, new scanner. And it is of the system in variety. Something like that. Again, saving every once in a while. All right, so I need some variables and constants here. So I'm going to just say these are going to be things like inputs. Because I got inputs, I got processes, and then I got outputs. So my inputs, the first one I'll say will be final decimal FICA is equal to, what did I put, 7, oops, that is in decimal. Wrong programming language. I think it's 7.65 or something like that. Yep, 7.65. Seven, whoops, 0.0765. And final double Fed tax will be equal to 0.18. It's good. Final double state tax will be equal to 0.02. Final OT factor will be equal to 1.5. Whoops, final, I should say final double, huh? Now again, I planned this all out. And when you're doing your programs, these are things you need to think about before you start. Double standard hours is equal to 40. Okay, got those. All these you should have planned out ahead of time. Okay, so then we can make a double hourly rate is equal to, we don't need anything there. And then we have double hours worked. And so I mark those, and then I'll have something called double gross pay. Oh no, not yet. So then I'll have the rate, and then I'll have regular pay. I'll have OT, I'll make OT pay. And then I'll have double reg hours. I'll have double OT hours. And then I can have, I don't know if I'll use this one or not, total hours. And then I'll have double gross pay. Then I'll have double FICA tax. Or how do I want to put these so I cannot? FIF tax. Well, they'll be different, so I guess I can do it. I'm going to do this. FICA deduct so they're not close to each other in name. Fed deduct. State deduct. Double total deduct. Double net pay. So I think that's everything. So these are all my variables and constants that I can think of right off the top of my head right now. Once I get to this point, I'm going to bring up a banner. For the Acme payroll calculator. And I will ask for do we want a name or not? Doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to do it. It would just take up extra time. Enter the number of hours worked. And then I'm going to put this here like example 40. 43.5, 51 point whatever, 75, 22. Okay, any of those would work. Okay, this is what we want. And we've got our scanner, and we got a variable called hours worked. So we got hours worked will be assigned the value of con in next double, like that. Once I've got that one, I do system out print. Enter the hourly, enter the number of hours work, enter the hourly rate. And likewise, you know, it could be $40, 42, 3.5. Oh no, that ain't what I want. Let's do 10, 15.25, 30 or 28.75, etc. And I think that should be back here. And then the semicolon at the end here, or the colon, space. And then semicolon. And likewise here, I already got a variable named and its hourly rate is equal to con, or is assigned con in next double. That should work. So let's see, again, we're going to test if in fact that's what I get. Hours worked plus hourly rate. This is just a test to make sure, because there's no reason to go on if it's not working at this point. All right, so we'll say they worked 40.5, and we're just checking to see if it crashes here. And the hourly rate, we'll say, is just 15. And 40.5 and 15. So it seems like it's doing well. So I can get rid of that test now. And I got to that point. And now I've got my inputs. So now I need to process those inputs. So the first process I need is to get regular hours, I would assume. So regular hours are equal to, well, what if I have a problem here? I need an if statement. So if regular hours are less than or equal to standard hours, then regular hours is assigned the value of, let's see, regular hours. I don't need to do anything, do I? Regular hours is less than that. Okay, let's switch this. This will be if, oh, I'm sorry. Hours worked. That's what was worked. Now it's right. Is less than or equal to standard hours. Then hours worked is assigned the value of, I'm sorry, reg hours is assigned the value of hours worked. That's much better. Else, do I want an else if or an else? If I just do this, then regular hours will be equal to standard hours. And OT hours will be equal to hours worked minus standard hours. Or you could use reg hours here. Really wouldn't matter because they're going to be the same 40. Okay. Do you see my logic here? So this says basically, so they put in 50, let's say. Okay. If 50 is less than that, no, it isn't. So then it would go down here and it would say, okay, hours is equal to standard hours. So my regular hours, that means they had over 40. So regular hours is going to be 40. And then my overtime hours would be the hours worked, which is 50 minus 40. And that would give me 10 hours of overtime. If they work 20 hours, it would come down here and say, if 20 hours is less than 40, it is, then the number of hours worked would be equal to our regular hours. So that's the logic behind that. Okay. So that gives me, I got my regular hours and my overtime hours taken care of. Hours worked, we already got that. And we got the hourly rate. So we're down all the way down to, don't know that I even need that total hours yet. So let's get our regular pay now. So the next thing we need to do is get reg pay will be equal to our regular hours times our hourly rate. Our OT pay will be equal to our our overtime hours times our hourly rate times our OT factor. I thought I called it OT hours. It's right there. OT hours. What do I got wrong here? Oh, it isn't initialized, so they want that. Hours. Huh. Space equals 0. It's going to probably do that for all of them at some point. Okay, so that's now that times that times that. So that gives me my overtime pay. So then if I do gross pay, will be equal to my reg pay plus my OT pay. Okay. And then everything else is based off my gross pay. So my next thing I need is my FICA deduction. Is equal to my gross pay times my FICA rate my state deduct or federal deduct is equal to my gross pay times my Fed tax. My state deduct will be equal to my gross pay times the state tax. And then my total deduct will be equal to my FICA deduct plus my Fed deduct plus my state deduct. Okay. Then my net pay will be equal to my gross pay minus my total deduct. Okay, blah, 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 net pay, total deduct, state deduct, but if I could, total gross pay, total hours. I don't think I need that one. So there's my calculations there. My process. And I could print them all out to make sure they're working right, but I'm just going to go ahead forward. I could run it at this point and just make sure it doesn't crash. And it doesn't crash. So that's a good thing. I don't see any red there or anything. All right. So let's go here, and this is going to be my output. And we'll do a system.out.println. I'm going to put an extra, oh no, I don't, well, maybe, yeah. An extra line feed in there. Or I could have put your check stub or something like that. All right, so the first thing we need is and I'm going to use something called printf, okay? And it's going to be something like this. So hours worked, and then it goes like this, and then whatever I want to put in here. So hours worked will be a percent sign 2.f, I think. Okay. And then where it has args here, we're going to put hours worked. And then the next one, I'm going to run this in a minute so you can see what it says. This one will be hourly rate. And it'll be also. Oh, you know what we could put here? Right in front of this percent sign, I'm going to put a dollar sign like that. And I'm going to run it now and see what it prints out, if anything. Okay, so I'll put 40 here and 22, 25 here or something like that. Oh, why did it do that? Blah, 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 blah. I knew I had something wrong here.
Is it supposed to be 0.2F or 2.F?
Oh, it's 0.2F. Do, 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 do. That's much better. Okay, so now 40 and 22, 25. Oh, I forgot my /n, but that looks pretty good. So I need a right here, I need a /n, and right here I need a /n. That just means I want a new line, because if you're using a printf, you don't get your line feed automatically. So now if I get it, 40, 22.25, and you get that. I get a space here. Why is that? Printf, do. It's kind of weird. Printf. There should not be. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway. All right. So then we can go on to do system out, printf. And then so hours worked. So regular hours will be percent 0.2F /n, and then reg hours and then system.out print f and ot hours. Oh, I put a capital H on the other one, so I'll put it. Jeez. That goes there, that goes here. Percent 0.2F/N. And then we should have okay, so I got that, so then this should be reg pay. And then I like it, looks better like that, I think. I don't know. So this just means it's going to be a floating point, or can be. If I put a D after the percent sign, that means it's going to be a digit or an integer. If I put a Boolean in there, it would be a true or false. If I put an S in there, it's a string, et cetera, et cetera. So that goes there, and then comma OT pay. And then we're going to run it after this next one, see what happens. Something like that. And let's fix that one. I just like it like that better. I shouldn't, but I do. Okay. So let's save that and run it. And I just happen to know that if I work 50 hours at $10 an hour, I should get, let's see, $10 for the first 40, that's 400. And then the last 10 hours, I get a time and a half. So the total should be $550. And it is. I'm still getting that space in there, and I don't know what's throwing that. It's got to be something up here. But my gross pay is right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, like what other things like would you format like in what for what purpose besides like a floating point like what we're doing here?
You could do digits or integers. You can do floats. You can do Boolean. You can do strings. You can include them in this. I could actually write this whole thing in one print statement. Okay. I could
Okay,
just put a
right.
plus sign. I could get rid of all these and just put a plus sign here. And at the end, come down here and put all these down at the end. Okay. I'm just putting in a bunch of print statements here, but I could have one print statement that does this whole thing and lines them up. But this is still, why am I getting printf there? That's going down one. Anybody see why I'm getting an extra space? I get an extra space right there for some reason.
Can you run the program again?
Because I don't see the error. 50, 10. See right here? Oh, it's in the second one. Okay, so if I do, oh, it's right here. There you go. See if you look in the right one. There we go. All right, so there's my gross pay. So now, system dot out print one or print F, FICA tax, and that'll be $, percent 0.2 F/N. And this was FICA deduct. And then so it'd be federal tax. $, percent 0.2 F. That means I only want 2 decimal places if I haven't explained that to you yet. Comma, state, or, Fed deduct. And then system out, print F, state deduct. $, percent 0.2 F/N. And then geez, percent 0.2 $0.2 F/N. That looks good.
You forgot your percentage on that last line.
Yeah. All of a sudden my typing goes to crap. Is total deduct. And then last one would be system.out.printf, and that would be net pay. $, 0.2f /n, and then pay. Save that and then run it. And 50 hours at $10 an hour. Something wrong here. Gross pay. What I do? Multiply? Overtime pay. The heck happened here?
You put in 450 as your hours, I think.
Oh, I like making money, dude. 50. There we go. 10. That's more like it. And that's the right amount there, $397.93. So when you build yours, make sure that's what you do. Now I'm going to dress this up just a little bit more. I'm going to put a /tab in front of each one of these. So it's /t. So that'll indent them into my program a little better. My output, I should say. /t. And then let's see here, /t. And then I could get so if I do that, what if I did this? Oops. Come on. /t. So it'll be about that long. And then I can take that same line and go right here. And then I can take that same line and go here. And let's see what that looks like. I don't know if I'll like it or not. 50, 10. Okay, I got something screwed up there. Oh, I didn't put in all my /t's apparently. No, I did not. /t. /t. Oh, I need /n's on the ends of these too. /n, 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 /n.
On the payroll
Slash.
calculation statement at the very top, your /n is at the beginning. Does it matter if it's at the beginning or the end?
I
or-
moved it down one. It's in a print line. It's not in a print F. So it does already puts a /n in there.
Okay, thanks.
This is a /t here. /t here. And I could, I could mess around with it and make it different, but let's see how bad it is now. 50 and 10. There you go. So I think that looks pretty good. And you could go ahead and again add this one is a print line /n. Something like that. And then here. So there's your program to solve that one. Questions?
Nope.
Does the percent symbol in that printf just indicate that you're formatting after that?
Yeah, that
Or-
there's a format after it. So if I wanted a integer, I would put %D. If I wanted a string, I could put a %S. If I want a Boolean, I would put $B.
You said integer would be a D?
Yeah, I believe that's what it is.
Okay.
So like if you're doing somebody's age or something like that, or how many of these do you want to buy, right? How many people would be a D in your output?
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else?
What exactly is the difference between the just a normal print or println and printf?
Well, the printf, you can format stuff. Okay, you can use this. You can't use that in a print line or just a plain print. Okay, and then a print line gives you a carriage return without putting a /n in. If you do put a /n, you get an extra carriage return. So in this one, I'm going to get one at the end, but I want one before it too. Okay, just to move it down the line before it starts printing. Same thing down here. I want it to move down the line so it's not right up against my net pay output. Okay, and then just plain print doesn't do any of those. And like I said, I could do this whole thing here without any of these, just with one printf right here.
Are you going to
I
show us?
I could. I'm going to have to screw everything up though. Let's see here. And then I would do, let's see here. And then I would do, and then I would do,
If you're getting rid of the references to the floats,
hang on. So I'm just going to do those three, okay? So now this would be hours worked, comma, hourly pay, comma, reg hours. Thought it was hourly pay. What is it? Hourly rate. And I could just keep going. I'll just do these three like this. And if I run it, put in 50, put in 10. And you can see it works exactly as it did when I had them all in there. So I could just keep going. I could whack them all out of there. But these have to make sure they go with the right one. So this one goes with the first symbol. This one goes with the second symbol. This one goes with the third symbol, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just a matter of which one you want to do. Okay. And I'm back where I was. Any other questions? Again, well thought out. Again, I determined the stuff in order. I had my inputs, got all my inputs together. Then I did my processing. Then I did my output. Okay. All right. Take a look at this one. I'm going to get you started on this one, I think. Okay. I will get you started on that one. And it's in chapter 5, just on loops. Okay. So my deal on this one is this is a math thing for very small kids. So there's some basic rules involved. One, we're only going to use for addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Our randomized numbers are going to be between 0 and 9 or 0 and 10. I don't care if you want to go to 10. For division, our quotient, what we get as an answer, will be no higher than 10. And in all cases, they must be integers. You can't have a decimal. So you have to figure that out. And this program has to be able to run multiple times. So I'm going to help you get it started. What's going on here? Why did it say HTML? New project. There we go. And it's going to be, let's call it Math Tutor. And so it'll be project and the Acme Math Tutor. And this will be mathtutor.java. Today's date be 9/1/2020. The author will be yourself. Author. Did I tell you my priest and minister and rabbit joke?
No.
Not quite
No.
yet.
Not quite yet.
Please
Okay.
do.
So, huh?
No, I said please do.
Okay. So,
Enlighten us mortals.
so a priest, a minister, and a rabbit walk into the bar. And the bartender goes to the rabbit. What are you doing here? And the rabbit goes, oh, I'm an autocorrect.
Ha!
Fair enough.
If you don't get it, later on tonight, you'll be asleep and go, oh, now I get it.
I can promise you that every single person was laughing harder than they ever have before, but you couldn't hear us because our
Oh,
mics
okay.
were off.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll laugh a lot when I get it.
When you get, it should be, a rabbi, but a rabbit. So he's a spell correct. Not right, Josh? No?
I would be
0 through
disappointed if I laugh at that.
10. Or do we want 9? Let's go with 10. No decimal answers. No negative answers. And of course, no division by 0. All right. That looks good. That looks good. Let me get rid of that. Get this guy down where it belongs. Get all rid of this. Again, this is stuff you should do right away and get all this housework out of the way. Tab. That looks good. On yours, you should be able to see, I see very light lines back here. So I can kind of keep my stuff in order here. I know 2 things going in. Oh yeah, let's do this too. So we'll get that. So I know at that point I need a scanner. So it'll be import Java utility scanner and import Java utility random.
Just a quick question. I know you mentioned the light gray lines between each thing. Why is there a giant red line on the right side of the screen? And is
It's the
there
end of
any
the
way to
page.
get rid of it?
If you were going to print this out, I think it's an 8.5 by 11.
Okay. I don't know why you print code on paper, but
Oh, a lot of times you do. We used to do it a lot. Okay.
why?
To check it.
Okay.
Just pencil check it.
Okay, it was faster to do that than to send it to others.
No, but you get a different perspective when it's sitting there on paper.
Okay. Interesting.
You'd never seen, well, I guess that would be your output normally. But a lot of times we used to run our programs and then print out actually, a lot of times we'd have to turn in the printout too, along with the program. A printout of the output and a printout of the code. Okay, so let's do that. And so we got that, okay. So now let's create a scanner. How about just input this time? Is equal to. All right, so I got that. And then I'm going to say continue, or I'm going to have a variable, and it's going to be a Boolean called continue. And I'm going to initialize it to yes. What do I got going here? Oh, continue is a reserved word. See that? It lit up blue. And
Can booleans be yes and no's instead of true or false?
it should be true. Okay. And we're just going to stub something in here. And you know what? I don't want it to be that. I'm going to change it to this. Blah, 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 blah. Let's do this too. Again, I'm thinking on my feet here. So char again is equal to that. And then here, wish to continue, yes or no. And then our, again, or no, temp answer will be equal to, nope, that ain't what I want. Let's do again is equal to input dot next to upper char at 0. Okay, so what this has here, the above line gets input, changes case to upper, and picks off the first letter. Or first character. So that's what that does. So if they type in anything but a Y is what I'm going to put in there. If they type in the word yes, it'll keep going because it's going to pick off the Y at the beginning. And it doesn't matter if it's capital Y or lowercase y. If they type in an uppercase Y, it's going to, if they type in yak, it'll keep going. As long as the first letter is a Y, it's going to keep going. And so then we're going to say here, those are single quotes. All right, let's see if this will run. It's my warning, the sign value is never used. Char again, again. Yes, it is, okay. Okay, and I say yes, comes up again. If I say no, it quits. If I type in yak, it goes again. If I type in yak, it goes again. If I type in yes, it goes again. If I type in the number 1, it quits. Okay? So that's how it works. Now my code has to go in here. Okay? Most of my code's going to be right in here. I'm going to go ahead and put my random out here.
Just real quick, what exactly does the to uppercase dot char at 0 do again?
This means char at means character at position 0. Okay? Position 0 is the first letter of whatever they typed in. Then it converts that into uppercase and
Okay.
assigns it to this again right here.
Okay, thank you.
All right. The input next is getting a string. So it takes that string, converts it to uppercase, picks off the first letter, and assigns it to this character variable, this char variable here. And then down here, it says, keep doing this do. This do goes with this. This again, this is why this is important that these line up, because this code in here is inside my loop. If I put it outside my loop, it's not going to work. I'm going to put a comment in here. The 4 parts of a loop are initialize, test, process, and increment. Guess which one people forget to do?
Test.
Nope.
Increment.
Yep, increment. And if you don't increment, what you get is your loop will keep running and running forever. In other words, let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. That ain't gonna work. You wish to continue? No, well. Oh, here, let me do this. See my thing? It's still running. It's printing this over and over, and it'll keep going till I run out of memory. Okay. So that's bad. That's called an infinite loop, because again, never changes, because I never let it change right here. Once I put that in, it'll go back. Doesn't matter what this is up here. If I type in no here, it stops. Okay. So those are the 4 parts. I initialized it here. Then I have some type of test. Well, on this one, this do loops post-process test loops. While loops are pre-process test loops. So in this case, I know that I want this program to at least run 1 time. So I use a do. If I had something where I didn't want it to run several times, depending on what my input is, In other words, you might say, oh, wild number is less than 10. Keep doing this. Well, if you initialize it to 11, the loop will never run. If you initialize it to 0, it'll run 10 times or 11 times. Okay, so there's there's pre-test and post-test loops. One uses a do to start and a while to end. The other one just has a while at the beginning. So those are the two there. There's another type of loop, and it's called the for loop. And it is what's called a counting loop. And we won't get to that today. But your program now runs multiple times. And from now on, it has to do that. Okay? It has to do that. And you saw it doesn't crash right here. If they type a number in, because this is a char, and it doesn't matter because I'm picking off one letter or number off whatever they type in, this won't crash because of that. All right, so now let's go ahead. We got our random in there. So I think we can generate those. So let's have int num1 is equal to a random next int. And we're going to go ahead and let it do up till 9. Do we want 9 or 10? What did I say at the top? 10? So I'm going to get 0 through 11. I'm sorry, 0 through 10 will be my numbers, right? Zero to 10. So there's my two numbers that I need. Okay. Let me read this. I forget which one it is. Anybody got their book out? Trying to figure out, or did I make this one up too?
It says you made this one.
Oh, it does. Darn it. All right. So we got that. And so we got our two numbers. That's the first thing we need. Now we need to decide, or let the student decide, what do they want to do? Do they want to do addition, subtraction, or multiplication, right? So let's do that. So we can say system print line or print choose operation. Oh, come on. Da, 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 da. And then maybe slash plus slash slash T addition. Do I want to do it that way? Or A addition slash N like that. And then slash T. See how this looks here in a minute. Subtract. Slash N. Slash T. Multiply.
So Professor, that means that as you're giving the user options, they have to enter A, S, M, or D.
Yes.
Okay.
And if it's not one of those letters, will it end the loop or will it like crash the test?
You'll see here in a minute, okay? Let's see if we can fix this.
It shocks them for
Yeah,
putting in a wrong answer.
that's right. Forgot a parentheses here. Okay, let's see. I just want to see what that looks like. Okay, that's fine. All right. So now we need them to put it in, right? So it'll be, we can make another variable up here. Or you could put it down there. I don't really care. It'll be char operation. That's two single quotes, not a double quote. Is it going to yell at me? Okay. Let's do that instead. And so operation will be equal to, hang on a second. Let's put another do in here. Somebody said, do they have to put one of those in? Well, we're going to see if they do or not. And then we'll do system dot. Nope, that ain't what I want. I want operation is equal to what is it? Input dot next to upper and char at 0.
Did you say sterile?
Huh? No.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I've never heard that. Okay.
I hope I didn't. Oh gosh.
Did you place a closing bracket for that second do loop?
It isn't in yet.
Okay.
If operation is How do we want to put this? I think it's dot equal. Let's see if that works. To A. I get mixed up in my languages sometimes, so I don't know if this is going to work or if I actually have to type a not in there. Probably got to type a not, but we'll see. Not equal to AS or operation. Oh, I forgot my closing.
Wouldn't we want these to be ands instead of ors?
No, I don't think so. If it's and that and that, if it's not that, and see, this is where not gets a and oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because if it's not
Yep,
A, it
got
could
ya.
be S.
Got you. See that? It's the problem with and, or I mean, not equal S, and then not equal to, anybody get to at the end yet? Is it going to work? And M and operation not equal to D. If it's done, hey, look at that. No little squiggle diggies. Enter. Okay. And then okay, let's see if that in fact works. And I choose the letter A, and it says, do you want to continue? And I'll say yes. And now I'll type in the letter X, and it says, wait a minute, that's invalid. And I type in an M, and then I can try it again. I type in the number 1, it says that's not right, it's invalid. I type in a D and then an N, and the program stops. So that looks like it works good. So this makes it more user-friendly, right? Yes, no, maybe so.
It makes it more idiot-proof.
Oh, don't use that. You'll get in trouble.
That's the term you used 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I did not. I said that was the, not the, what do you call it, politically correct one.
My mistake then.
I'm kidding. All right. So you've already improved your programming here, right? You got a program that runs multiple times and it gets input from the user and makes them put in what you want. Okay. So now we could use a switch for operation. I think. Let's see if it'll work. Oops. Yeah. And then so case. What is it? A. I don't know if this is going to work right. I might have to use oh, look at that, how pretty that is. Okay. So then, so this is called stubbing in. And I'm just going to check once I get this all fixed. Oops, damn it. That in fact it does work. So this would be addition, subtraction, multiplication. Okay, and this would say subtraction. So my code for subtraction is going to go there. My one for multiplication will go here. And then my final one down here somewhere. I got all these things here. I don't know which one that goes with. That goes with my switch. So these are probably bad here. I'm not sure yet. Yep. Okay, so then the last one here is default. Let me think if there's anything that could go wrong. I don't think so because it's only going to let you put in ASM. So I think I can use default. And so this one will say system.out print line division is here. And in reality, the break is kind of redundant here because when I get down here, there's no place for it to go anyway. Okay. So now let's see if that works. So if I choose the letter A, it says addition is here. If I choose an S, it says subtraction is here. If I choose an M, it says multiplication here. And I hit UI. And I can even type division here. And it'll say division is here. I hit N and I'm out of there. Okay. So and I am going to move my numbers inside of here. I'm going to take these out of here and move them into my loop right above this right here. No, that ain't where I want them. Get them out of there. It's got to be above this here. So right here. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. Let's go up here. I didn't whack them out of here. There we go. So now they're in there. And we're down to about 10 minutes. So I am going to do probably the hardest one is division. So what I'm going to do here is num1, num2 I already got, right? Num1, num2 is there. So I'm going to say this. Quotient's going to be num1. So this is the question. So system.out.print line or print. And I need to do something before that. I'm going to do the calculations first. So temp is going to be equal to, oh, if num1, see if I multiply by 0 there, by 0, divided by 0 is illegal. So if num2 is equal to 0, okay, then num2 is equal to 1. Is assigned 1, I'm sorry. So that gets rid of my division by 0. Then what I'm going to do, because I don't want fractions, remember I said that, I'm going to say that the temporary quotient, whatever it is equal to num1 times num2. Okay, and that's an int, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to say that the answer, and let's just declare answer up here, up above this. -1 maybe. Because I know it can never be a -1 in my program because I won't allow. Okay, so that's that. That becomes that. And so that's becomes that. And then the answer will be equal to num1. All right. So now I can do this, and I'll just put temp divided by, I need spaces here, space, space. Oh, I know what I could do here. Here, this is just easier. Print F, and I'll just say %, D divided by %, D is equal to what number?
Num2.
Yeah, no, it's going to be, so then here, this will say temp, and this will be num2. I believe I got that right. Oops, what happened there? Okay, then I can get rid of this. And then I can say, There's that. This will be a /n here, like that. Blah, 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 enter your print. That, oops, that, and then enter. And then this will be user, again up here, we'll put int. What are we gonna do? Okay, int user answer. Okay. So now this gets a little, this is how you're going to do this here. So you're going to say while, what is it? Input dot has next int and put a not sign in front of it. So that's the splat or bang. So it looks like that. Then you're going to say this and say system.out.println or print line that is not a valid answer. And then we'll put re-put we don't put the whole thing in there. We'll just put re-enter your answer. Enter your answer. And then once you get out of there, user answer will be equal to or be assigned input dot next int. And that's outside the loop here. So what this does, it's going to show them the question and ask for their answer, okay? They're going to type something in. If it isn't an integer, okay, it's going to put them in a loop here and it's going to keep going. Oops, I'm missing a line here. I think that'll work. Let's try it. Okay, so that was for division, so I have to type a D. Okay, and so you'll see there 27 divided by, and if I type in the letter A, it says that's not a valid answer. If I type in 1.1, it says that's not valid. If I type in the number 4, it keeps going. Now I'm good. Okay, so that's how it works. And that's my song and dance. So that should be a pretty good start in the subtraction. All you're going to do is if the first number is less than the second number, you're going to swap them around. And I gave you an example of that in the lesson. multiplication and addition shouldn't be a problem at all. They should be very simplistic.
I have a
Okay?
question.
Yeah.
So for the all the stuff that's going on with the division, so why did you do default instead of like case D?
Just because I could.
Oh, so like if you were to do case D instead, it would make
It
a
would work
difference?
fine.
Okay, just wondering. Thank you.
Yeah, it would work fine. Default just means if it's anything but A, S, or M, then throw it into division. And since there's only 4 of them, A, S, M, and D, I could just, so it doesn't really matter. I could put case. There, that make you happier. Now that works fine too.
Okay, thank you.
Works the same way. Now the question is, blah, 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 blah. Answer. And then you compare their answer to the problem answer to determine whether or not they got it right or not. So you could come down here. And there's another question I'll ask you here in a minute. Ooh, what does it answer? I thought I declared user answer out here. I did. Okay, it was then why is user answer not? Oh, it's going to say it's not been initialized. Yeah, okay. So user answer, we'll make that -1 too. Okay, something like that. So there you go. Run it. D. So if I type in 7, it says, good job, you're on your way to being a genius. Run it again. Do a D. 8 divided by 2 is 5. Says, sorry, that's not correct. You should have answered 4. Say yes. If I pick D again, 10, and I get it right, and then I hit N, and I'm out of here. So there. That should be a good heads up for you guys. All right? Any questions? Go ahead, Joe. What do you got?
There's an exclamation mark next to the has next in the, I think
Yes.
the while. What is
It's
the
supposed
purpose
to
of
be
that?
there. That says, because that says, where is it at here? That means while it is not an integer, right? Exclamation point means not. So it says, while it isn't an integer put in, keep putting this message up. Once it becomes an integer, it skips over that and assigns the value to the variable. There again, preventing my you notice when I typed the letter A in, my program didn't crash. Okay? I think you might be able to move this whole thing outside of your switch. But I haven't tested it yet. So, and I haven't even thought about it. But if you do it and it's redundant, I don't really care at this point. It'll give you a lot of practice. All right, I'm out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
All right. Have a good night.
And stop